Oh, you want to see fireworks? You're about to see some fireworks, right? You see it dripping out of your face, right? That's because we bled blood before. You want to bleed blood tonight? No photos, no videos of our fireworks. Let him up.
Just a quick message before the video starts. If you could like this video, leave a comment below, but most importantly hit the red subscribe button and the little bell next to it, which will notify you when these videos become available, and most importantly share this video around. That helps me stay competitive with the big multinational corporations such as CNN and the BBC that YouTube is unfortunately choosing to prioritize. Thank you very much and enjoy this video. Greetings free thinkers, welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. Okay, I certainly am. Anyway, right. So today we are going to look at some clips from Washington DC last night after the Republican National Convention ended, and outside the White House in DC there were Antifa, BLM and Democrat supporters in general who wanted to attack people, to do the usual thing, political violence, political intimidation. That is the hallmark and the calling card of the woke left today and the Democrat voters, and it's the same here in Britain with the Labour Party voters. The Labour Party is our Democrat Party essentially, socialist, infiltrated. So we're going to have a look at some clips showing them doing what they do best, and I have to say this political divide in the West is now wider than it's ever been. The political divide only exists in the first place because of the left, and the width, the gulf that it now encompasses, again, is down to the left. They can't win the debate, they can't convince people with at least 2 brain cells to vote for them, so all they can do is throw their toys out the pram and display aggression to everyone who dares to have an independent thought inside their head. So without further ado, let's get into the clips. But if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video around. It only takes a few seconds. That really helps me grow our community here, and it also gets this message out. So if you're a patriot, if you could do that for me, that would be very helpful. Anyway, let's take a look at the clips. Right, so the first clip we're going to watch is a white man who attended the Republican National Convention, walking home through DC with someone. He's an elderly, fairly elderly man, certainly late middle age, and he is walking with someone who I'm guessing is his wife. Could be wrong, I don't know. And he gets harassed by BLM, Antifa, the Democrat type people. So take a look.
Hey, get the fuck out! We don't want you.
So straight away you can see that they're lashing out, because that's all BLM can do. All Black Lives Matter can do to Republicans is lash out and attack. It's all they can do. That was a largely peaceful attack.
The fuck out! You're starting trouble. That's all you fucking here for.
So she's projecting, she's attacking him, and she's saying, do you want to hit somebody? She's saying to him, he's peaceful, walking home, he's just trying to get home. Do you want to hit somebody after attacking him twice? That is the dictionary definition of projection, and it's one of the key tactics of the woke left. You see it dripping out of your face.
right? That's because we bled blood before. You want to bleed blood tonight? No? Yeah. So be careful. No crime, no hate, no racist suicide. You put your hands on another black woman, it'll be the last fucking touch some fucking bullhorn. Listen, you lucky because you touched that.
So someone's just threw water at him. Bear in mind, all this man has done has attended a Republican National Convention. All these blacks around him, attacking him, humiliating him, throwing water on him. They've already assaulted him. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if these were all white people around one black man and his wife or girlfriend. Imagine the mainstream media outrage. But it's not. Imagine, it's hard to even imagine it, isn't it? Like a load of white Republicans outside a Democrat National Convention and doing that to a black person, a black Democrat. It's hard to imagine it, isn't it? It just wouldn't happen. Yet the mainstream media are trying to convince you that it's the Republicans that are all the isms and ists, and the Democrats are the peaceful, largely peaceful, like you just saw with the water when someone just threw water at him. They threw largely peaceful water at him. So he was just knocked to the ground. And that's the end of that clip. So we've seen a man and what appears to be his wife trying to walk home. They are a white couple trying to walk home, and they're being harassed. They got attacked by groups of... These are Joe Biden supporters. Remember, United States of America, if you elect Joe Biden in November, you're electing this. You're electing people who think they can do this. And if they win an election on a platform of violence, which is what the Democrats are standing on, if they win on a platform of violence, God knows what direction the United States will go down, because that will convince these people that they're right. And the worrying thing is, fear often works. That's why they're doing what they do. That's what they're hoping people will be scared into not voting for Trump. That's what they want. That's what they want. Next, we have more guests who attended the RNC leaving, and they're being met literally as soon as they leave the gates. They're being met by Democrat voters, some of Joe Biden's finest, who are being quote unquote largely peaceful. We'll put it that way. All these people can do is lash out. It's like they can't talk. They can never talk. It's just shout, attack, insult. Shout, attack, insult. That's all these, and a lot. You see, most of these are young. It's not just African Americans. There's white people in there as well. But the glue that binds them together is woke leftism, and they're, for a large part, are being taught this in the Western education system, which is an utter failure. In the postmodernist era, Western education systems, whether it's Canada, the United States, Britain, even as far as few as Australia, These people have stopped teaching our youth how to think, and instead they're teaching them what to think. I wouldn't be surprised if there's teachers in among them. We've seen teachers and even solicitors, what you guys in the United States call lawyers. We've seen in New York where 2 lawyers, even prosecutors, have been arrested and charged with the looting and the violence and the throwing Molotov cocktails at police vehicles. Teachers and prosecutors. Look in California. Remember Bike Lock guy, Eric Clanton? He was a professor. He still is a professor. He wasn't fired. He was only given probation for almost cracking open the skull of a conservative. Why did he do that? It was a cheap shot, by the way. I'm sure you've seen it. A cheap shot. He was masked. He came behind him and attacked him. Excuse me. He came behind him and attacked him. The conservative. He attacked him with a bike lock, and he got the nickname the Bike Lock guy. And all because the victim was a Republican. All because he has a different political opinion. That was it. That's why he got attacked. Disgusting, isn't it? Now watch this one more time. I want to point out the guy, one of the people. This guy here, I believe it's this guy here. Keep an eye on him. Him there. Wow, yeah, you're what a good upstanding member of the community. Largely peaceful middle finger. And you can tell he's going to amount to nothing. He's probably amounted to nothing in his life. These guys here, elderly couple, have been married their whole lives, law-abiding, they've hard-working, they've probably generated jobs, they've probably owned businesses. The most wholesome, they attend church every Sunday, and their generation, they are a picture of their generation. And he is a picture of his generation. There he is, masked. He's sweating profusely. You can see that sweat there, because these people run on emotions. When they get all worked up, also they start sweating all over their body. They'll even smell different. If you was there, he would probably smell, that leftist would probably smell different than he normally does, because these people run on emotions so much it just leaks out their body. But he is a picture of his generation, and they are a picture of their generation, and the contrast is unbelievable. Next we have Rand Paul, who was also targeted by the largely peaceful mob of hate-filled leftists who they just do what they do, you know, they do their thing, they do their largely peaceful thing. So let's watch these Democrats targeting the lone Republican. And it's always, and I've said this numerous times, it's always 1,000 on 1, 100 on 1. It's always one Republican, or like a Republican man and his wife, and they're surrounded by a mob of like 100 people. It's always the way. Look in Kenosha. The young man, I believe his name's Kyle Rittenhouse. I believe that's his name, Kyle Rittenhouse. 17-year-old, productive, decent member of society who was filmed early in the day trying to clean up some BLM and Antifa graffiti that was spray painted all over the town, destroying the town that he grew up in, the town that he loved. And he was out there protecting businesses, and they all targeted him. Loads of them targeted him, and he fired his weapon in self-defense, and they've charged him for it. They've charged him, even though he was he was defending himself, fighting to defend himself and defend his community when nobody else would. Disgusting. They charged him. Meanwhile, all these guys here, do you think they've been charged? Of course not. That's why they keep doing what they're doing. Anyway, check it out.
Move back!
So you can see they're getting scared now. You can see, and he's walking with his wife again. These people have no decorum at all. They have no civility. The Democrats, these largely peaceful mob, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, they're all the same. You notice they're all the same. It's all young, rage-filled animals, really. When I was young, when I was 19, 20, you know, I would never do anything. If I had a grievance with someone, I would never do anything when their woman's present, when their girlfriend or their mother or their sister or anything like that. These guys, they have no decorum. They want the humiliation. When they see him walking with his wife, that doesn't dissuade them, that assuages them. They want it. They want to do it. They see them and think, yes, let's humiliate Rand Paul. Let's humiliate people who look like this. That's what drives them. Do you really want to vote for people like that? Do you really want to vote for Democrats who, what drives them, what gets them up in the morning is hate? Because that's what it is. That's what gets these Democrats up in the morning. Anyway, this clip's almost finished. Let's watch the last bit. Remember, you can see they're getting scared now because the mob is starting to get largely peaceful. So you got one who just keeps shouting, "Oh, Breonna Taylor! Can you say Breonna Taylor?" What's Rand Paul got to do with Breonna Taylor? Breonna Taylor was shot in a shootout. She was hit by police bullets. However, she was with a man who I believe was her boyfriend, and the boyfriend started firing on the police, and she was unfortunately killed in a shootout. Now, how is that the police's fault? The boyfriend put her in that situation. You could say she put herself in that situation by being there. Not the police's fault. A tragedy, yes, but not the police's fault. But what it's got to do with Rand Paul, I have no idea. I'm sure they'll be able to tell us, although their answer would make literally no sense. But they probably wouldn't tell you anyway. They'd probably just try and punch you in the face or hit you.
What's up, bro?
And that's the end of the clip. But yeah, as you can see, Rand Paul walking with who I believe is his wife, just targeted by a rabid mob of largely peaceful people. Next, we see the Antifa and Black Lives Matter Democrat mob being largely peaceful towards police themselves. This is Washington, D.C. So, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Of course, these police are in an impossible situation because when the Democrat mob start being largely peaceful towards the police arrest them. However, we have DAs, district attorneys, actively working against the police, against justice and law enforcement, which is in direct opposition to the oath that they swore when they were called to the bar. When they became attorneys, which is essentially what a DA is, only he's a prosecutor, they were called to the bar. They are actively working against law enforcement, and they're working with the forces of evil, which is Antifa and BLM, which is basically a terrorist organisation, a hate group. It's exactly what it is. You could even argue that BLM is a black supremacist group. They keep forcing people to... You've seen the clips in... I might actually show you it in case you haven't seen it. Restaurant diners, patrons of bars were forced to raise a hand in a Black Power salute. Imagine if that was the other way around. Imagine if that was the other way around. But you won't hear this on mainstream media. You have to come to alternative media sources such as the Hoggcast here and many others who have a much bigger platform than me. Of course, I would like a platform that big, so if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell and share this video. Anyway, let's move on. Finally, I will show you a short clip in which they are marching down the street looking for Republicans, looking for people like me, with their banners and placards. They're largely peaceful banners and placards, with the one at the front reading "Revolution, nothing less." Now, what is Marxism? Is it similar to socialism, communism? These words often get bandied around. Socialism in the modern era has become, it now encompasses more than what it originally meant, and everyone kind of knows that. The original definition of socialism was the seizure of the means of production, where the state would control the means of production, but it's gotten to be more than that. It's like communism light. What does Marxism mean? Marxism, the definition of it is permanent revolution. You never stop. This is why you see these type of things in the streets. The leader, or one of the leaders, one of the 3 black women who originally founded Black Lives Matter, one of them, I forgot her name, she admitted on film that she's a trained Marxist. What does Marxism mean? As I've said, permanent revolution. That's why you have these people in the streets. The Democrats have been infiltrated by largely peaceful Marxists. That's why they do what they do. That's why they keep being largely peaceful towards the police. That's why you've seen innocent Republicans getting the largely peaceful treatment on the way home. They just want to go home. They're not bothering anyone. The same thing happening to patrons in bars and restaurants. But here it is. Don't take my word for it. See it for yourself. They have the banner. You've seen the actions. Now, that person at the front isn't saying all lives matter. He's saying all lives don't matter. And they're responding with Black Lives Matter. Some of them are doing the Black Lives, the Black Power hand gesture. And you know the NPC meme? Because these woke leftists are NPCs. It's beyond a doubt. You can't deny it now. They are NPCs. But have you seen the NPC meme? Where you get loads of people just all grouped together. They look the same, they think the same, they talk the same, they are identical. Look at this on the screen. Doesn't it remind you of the NPC meme? He even looks like the NPC meme. Look at them all. They are NPCs. It's the NPC meme. And it's like that saying, life imitates art. Memes are modern art. Life imitates art. And I'll leave that with you. I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Keep the faith. Keep the hope. I know in modern, Western, and postmodern society, things are looking dark. Things are fracturing. But the only reason these people are kicking so hard at Donald Trump is because Donald Trump is standing in the way of globalism, standing in the way of Marxism, standing in the way of socialism. And remember, it's not Donald Trump they're after. It's you and me they're after. Donald Trump is just in the way. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.